Hey, everybody, this is Scott Muni on the World of Rock, and I have a couple of guys who brought notes from home today. Two of the original Doobie brothers, Tom Johnston and John Hartman, and I say brought a note from home because they have been absent. You guys have been a little absent, and not your music.
Absent-minded and everything else.
No, it's, you guys have been off doing something, which we'll find out, but now the Doobie brothers come back with a new album called Cycles. I guess everybody's been through a couple of those.
Double meaning.
Yeah.
But we've been through a lot of cycles, and this is sort of a full circle cycle now. I almost didn't get that out. Full circle cycle. Yeah.
Well, I think our rock people, the knowledgeable people listening, know that there was a reunion of sorts not that long ago where you guys went on a tour and did some dates, including Russia, which must have been a little more than interesting.
Very interesting eye-opener, to say the least.
Let's talk about it a little. It's, what type of fan is there? I mean,
the Rodina? Certainly. It was, we could talk about the country and the city of Moscow and like that, or we could talk about the gig, which were actually pretty diverse. They're very different from each other.
Really?
Yeah, this is just from my perspective anyway, at the gig itself and the sound check and what have you. It was done in a soccer stadium. It's the first time they'd ever done an outdoor gig, a big outdoor concert, the very first time. And it was in celebration of this freedom walk from Leningrad to Moscow, with both Americans and Russians taking part in it. And, or peace walk, I should say. And the actual day of the gig, even though the whole place was surrounded by 5,000 Red Army troops, we watched them disperse and go all the way around and everything, but they were way out there. You didn't actually look at them that much. And there's militiamen there in these blue running outfits, kind of strange. And then regular, what looked like traffic cops, I guess you call them or something. It was sort of like going back to 1968 in Golden Gate Park or something. I mean, I was waiting for somebody to go up and put flowers in the barrel. So they didn't have any guns. I don't know if they did. They weren't showing them. I'm sure they did. But it had that kind of a vibe to it. I know it sounds nuts, but it was kind of a walk back in time because, number one, they'd never done it, and number two, it was just that kind of feeling in the air because there was a lot of glass nose going on between the musicians and, there was Russian bands playing and there was American bands playing, so it was an interesting day.
It's thick with glass nose.
Yeah.
The young people, though, were obviously interested in all of it, in the music, too. Even though we wouldn't really expect that, but they have been, as you said, they have some of their own groups and all.
Oh, there's a rock underground there that's thriving. Now, you don't see that at a concert situation because in order to do that, you have to be sponsored, like the band Autograph was. They're officially sponsored by the Communist Party. And that's the only way you can go make records, to the best of my knowledge, unless they're bootleg, I guess. And they were good. They were real good.
The soccer stadium now, how many people did it hold compared to, say, one of our football stadiums?
I don't know how many, but a lot. It's big.
A lot, yeah. Soccer stadium's a little larger than a football stadium.
Quite a bit larger, I'd say.
Our stadiums are taller. Their stadiums are lower, but it's
spread out.
Huge, absolutely huge.
Tickets went in a normal way? They were sold and so forth?
I think they were gifts.
No, yeah.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
From the party members, etc.
Yeah.
Their system's a little different. First of all, it was the first open outside concert, number one, and the first people to come in were gifts of the high elites, and after that they brought in people from the factories and whatnot. It was hand-picked all the way down the line, and one of the reasons the high security, and there were no weapons inside or outside. We had about 5,000 troops outside.
5,000 troops on a perimeter situation.
Yeah, and nobody had weapons. They were just all in uniform, hup, all around. And one of the reasons was, for the security anyway, is that about 3 weeks earlier in East Berlin, there was a riot. And they were rioting because there was a major concert on the western side. I think it was Genesis and
I didn't hear about that.
Phil Collins or somebody like that, or a combination. And the Easterners, the communist side, rioted because they couldn't see the concert. And then here we come, right behind it, and they were really kind of a little uptight about, well, we can't have a riot. So that's why the thick security. Number two is being televised on their TV. I mean, the press, everybody was right there.
Yeah,
didn't
they
want
had
any
those
mess up.
big screens down on Red Square and everything.
As we played, we were being seen live in Red Square.
Yeah, simultaneous broadcast,
Wow.
whatever.
That's a real breakthrough.
Oh, yeah.
Did that sort of cement the idea of, hey, let's do this for real now? You know, we got together for a few dates and did this and so forth, and it was a good gesture, and you guys got back together. Did you feel like, okay, let's do an album and get
Not
back
right.
together?
Not right off the bat. That whole thing started with one concert.
Mhm.
Initially, that's all we were going to do was one concert for the
Fundraiser.
for the Vietnam vets, right? And that expanded to another concert for Stanford Children's Hospital, who we're involved with pretty regularly every year, anyways. But this way, we were enabled, or it enabled us to give them a large sum of money, which we made at a normal concert at Shoreline Amphitheater. And then there was a third one that Michael McDonald had, which was Little Sisters of the Poor, which we played in Las Vegas. After that, we did 7 normal gigs to just sort of pay for what we went out and did for the other people, so we'd recoup the money spent to do so. And we had a lot of fun on that. I won't begin to tell you anything else because everybody did. There was like 4 drummers and 4 guitar players and 2 keyboard players, one of which played sax, and percussionist, and it was just a hell of a lot of fun. You could go up and sing. There's a lot of singers, you know. I mean, there's always plenty of vocalists to do any kind of part needed on any tune, and we covered material from the very start till the very end. But after that, that was the end of it until Teddy called us with the idea of reforming the original group.
And then you got together and had a few meetings.
Yeah,
always have meetings.
something like that. Yeah, we did.
Okay, at that point in time, John, and okay, now that little reunion tour happened, and then started to talk. What had you been doing in your life?
Oh, after I left the Doobies in '79, I turned right around and went out with Tommy on his tour, and did that for a while. Then back in the studio, and did sessions until roughly until we reformed. And I also had time somewhere in there to become a firefighter. So I did 6 years of firefighting in between studio work. It's a great thing.
Tom. Well, you did
After, I mean, after the
what were you doing?
Glass
when
Notes
you
thing
guys, yeah.
and everything.
Before and after.
Well, before.
Yeah, once you guys
I
went your
left
own
the
ways.
Dubs originally in '77, so I did it with 2 things in mind. Number 1, to get my body back together because of a bleeding ulcer and road burnout. And 2, which is basically all I did. I lifted weights and got on a health kick and started playing baseball,
Look out,
softball,
Arnold
and football and what have you and stuff with a bunch of guys I knew. And all the time I had tunes, so I took 4 tunes with me when I left, which would have gone on Living on the Fault Line. And then I proceeded to write more. And I went out and did my first solo album, which is something that I'd wanted to do for a while. But there's no way I could do that and be in the group. There's just no time. You know, we're constantly on the road or in the studio, so I took that time off and did the first album, went out and toured, as John said, and then I came back and then I did another solo album and went out and toured around on that. And then in the interim period of time after that, I played in a sort of a local type of thing, even though we did go and do a couple of tours in the United States, mostly on the East Coast, really. There's a bar band, for lack of a better description, called Border Patrol. And it was a good band. And there was about 3 or 4 different versions of that, too. And we recorded some stuff, none of which ever went anywhere or anything happened, and I really didn't expect it to anyway. I was just doing it to keep my chops up and have some fun. And then, let's see, I played with the Doobies on their farewell tour at the last gig. I just played 3 songs.
Yeah, I did that too.
And then that thing that came up, this is not exactly in chronological order. Actually, I did this playing with Border Patrol after that. And Pat and I did some recording together with the idea that we might try to do something. And that never really materialized. And then the reunion thing came up, and we did that. And afterwards, as I said, Ted called us wanting to put together the original group, the original formation, with only the addition of Bobby LeKind on percussion.
So now we've come with the cycle. Let's get the title in again.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, why don't we do something? We've been talking for a while, and people have got to be a little curious about cycle and what's in there. Why don't John, you or Tom, either one? Let's do something. Maybe the single, since the single's going to be in advance of the album, The Doctor, and you can kind of introduce that or talk about it, and we'll play it.
Well, Tom, what do you think about The Doctor?
My own or the one we're playing? The Doctor is, in my mind, a very recognizable tune for this genre of the band to do. It's like people will know who it is when they hear it, and that's why it's the first single. It's an upbeat rock and roll song along the lines of China Grove or something of that nature. And so I think people will instantly say, oh, I know who that is. I mean, at least the older fans, and we hope we're going to reach some newer fans at the same time. But the song is just about music being the doctor, and in other words, the healing factors of music for people. I guess that sets it up.
Well, then let's we've had a taste of the Doctor and what the music is to all of us. It certainly is that. That's what keeps us all together in the world of rock. Let's talk about personnel now, because you are originals, but there are a bunch of people now in the new configuration that are and aren't. You mentioned you have a newcomer.
Bobby LeConte is the newcomer. And Bobby was with us years and years ago as he first came on with the band as a lighting tech. And originally we found him out of Denver, I guess. And worked for the lighting company for a few years, and then worked his way through that to stage manager. Mm-hmm. And occasionally would pick up a conga or two and play on stage. And that revolved around, later on, he was singing a little more and playing congas a little more and doing percussion, and ended up on this reevaluation of the Doobie thing to come along and do all the congas and percussion. Well, all congas and most of the percussion. Well, we all play that stuff anyway.
All right. And a guest, too, from Little Feat, who is actually not new to you guys, is an old friend, right?
Oh, Billy Payne.
You're talking about on the album.
On the album, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah, Billy Payne.
Well,
he's played on every album that this configuration of the band has ever done, except for the very first album. Mm-hmm. And has been inspirational in many ways, I must say. To cite an example, the words to China Grove I didn't have when we recorded the song, which was, I was famous for doing that. At any rate, we had laid down the tracks to it, and he came in and put in a piano part that was good all the way through, but one certain section, it was like in the bridge. He played a part that was very Oriental sounding to me, like dun 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 dun, you know, on the piano in an octave split. So it really sounded like chopsticks type of thing, you know. And from that, I got the idea to write about China Grove, which was all fictional, only later to find out after the song's been out for 3 years or 2 years or whatever it was from a cab driver in Houston, there really was a China Grove. So I'm beginning to think that somewhere along the line on the road, I probably saw a sign or something and just forgot about it, or it came out of my subconscious or something. But I never knowingly wrote about the town because I'd seen it. It was interesting.
some memories and certainly a song we all know. And Tom Johnston and John Hartman are our special guests and co-hosts on The World of Rock. We're talking about a new album and the group reforming in a tour to go along with Same. Cycles is the name of the album. And now we were talking about the group as such. And so let's bring the guys in now who's going to be on the road with this new album.
Well, the lineup goes Tom, myself, Tyrone Porter on bass, Pat Simmons on guitar, Michael Hossack on drums, Bobby Lakindo on congas. Not leaving anybody
And we're going to use 2 keyboard players on the road as sidemen. One of them is a former Doobie brother, though, and that would be Corny Bumpus.
Mm-hmm.
The other fella was involved in writing songs with Pat and played in Pat's band that he had back in Santa Cruz, and his name is Dale Ackerman.
And they all have cars, so that's where we're doing the tour.
Okay, great. Well, I think there's a certain amount of excitement involved here because you guys have withstood all the years, whether you were off doing solo projects, and the group and its sound stays and remains, so that we're ready for you and very happy that it's taking place.
Yeah, we're very happy to be here.
I think folks would probably like to get another taste of what's coming in the album, Cycles. So why don't we pick another song from there? You guys work on that.
You know, friends, Pat has a song, and I think it's a really great song, and it's on our new album, Cycles. And the title of it is I Can Read Your Mind. And he really can.
Well, obviously,
it's not a single.
the happiness abounds because the Doobies are going to be back with us with a new album and a subsequent tour, which is something good too. We can see everything live. Now, I would assume that you'll be introducing some of the new material in cycles, but the inevitable will be, of course, you'll select some Doobie stuff to make everyone happy, right? It'll be in the
There's
tour.
usually somewhat of a demand for some of the tunes we've done
Or
in the
else you get
past.
killed.
Yeah. That's a nice thought. Yeah, we'll be doing that. We generally lay out an hour, 45-minute show, maybe 2 hours with an encore. And, spread it around as far as the vocals go and what have you. And we'll be playing tunes from in the past, basically stuff that the crowd enjoys live. And they're not all singles. Obviously, if we did that, we'd have a short show now, wouldn't we? I mean, we'd have maybe...
You'd have a long show, too, yeah.
Well, just doing singles would probably... I don't know. I don't even
Volume
think
1
about
and
that.
Volume 2.
Yeah, that's true.
Best of.
At any rate, I have a song in mind that always gets the crowd off, and I like to play it live, and I think everybody in the band likes to play it live because it's a raunchy shuffle, and it's about the chain gang in the South, and it's called Down on the Track. And it has a fellow by the name of James Booker, may he rest in peace, playing keyboards on it, who got released from prison to come out and record on this tune, and then I guess he went back. It's got an interesting background to it.
I've been working a whole day long.
Tom
know
and
that
John
couple
of the Doobie Brothers are special guests and co-hosts on the World of Rock with the good news of a new album and a tour. So the album is due in May.
May 17th, it ships 23rd on the streets.
And you have some dates, and you're starting to put a tour together, right?
Right. Starting in Red Rocks in Denver.
In what
And Red Rocks at Denver.
time
it's a-
frame?
Oh, we're starting
time frame.
June 9th.
Oh, so about a month after the album, you'll be ready.
Yeah, we'll go from here and go right into rehearsal. And we'll be in
Okay.
rehearsal. We're
That's-
doing a video and putting the whole package together, and then hopefully by that time we'll zip right out of rehearsal, zoom right into Colorado, and do the entire month of June. By mid-June, we'll have July booked. By mid-July, we'll have August, and well, we'll be out there, folks.
That's
long
great,
time.
'cause,
We have been out there for
well,
a
it's
long time.
important to everyone, when we're talking to so many people in so many different cities that they can say, good, well, maybe they're going to hit our area,
We should
Guaranteed.
cover pretty much any place that people are thinking about.
You're
I
just
would
going to
think.
get on the road and stay there.
Yeah,
see what goes
with
on.
breaks.
Yeah,
Yeah, we got a break one. We have a 3 or 4 hour break in Tulsa.
Uh-huh. We have layovers.
Yeah, we're doing the U.S., doing Canada. We'll probably do points north, south, east, and west this year.
Great. How is it like? Did you take on new management in your move to a new label or anything? You're still a family, so to
The
speak.
label's all new, but the management's the same. Yeah, same people we've always had. Or
Yeah,
same
but
person, I should say, we've always
Same family, same mom and dad, and that's
Well,
great.
That is good.
Yeah.
At least you feel a little more comfortable about it.
had. Yeah, you know where everything's
Don't
coming
worry
from.
about.
Yes, you know where it's coming.
We haven't actually been in that many. We've been at the Capitol offices here in New York, actually, more than we've been the ones in L.A., and that's just since we got here.
They got a tower too. They got a big fancy
Big round one, yeah.
setup out there.
I went down there when I was 16 once.
Who'd you go to see?
Supposedly Bobby Darin. It was a total rip-off joke that somebody had conned. I was in a junior in high school, and we went down to cut a record, and it was, needless to say, it wasn't the best piece of work we ever did, but or I ever did, or whatever. But it was supposed to be for Bobby Darin, and we did it in the Capitol building. I remember that. It was a long time ago. Same building. But we went over there for the signing party, and that's the only time I've ever been there.
John says, You remember him? He was on the
I
same
do
label.
remember him.
So you've been busy writing too. Obviously, you like to write. You always did.
There was a veritable cornucopia of tunes for this album played before we ever got started. There must have been 90 songs. I mean, not really, probably, but a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I had at least 7 or 8 songs, maybe actually then 2 more sitting that I didn't bring. Actually, more than that. And then Bobby had something like 10. Pat had 3 or 4 that I can think of at the moment. One of which will undoubtedly probably be on the next album. It wasn't on this one. I think it should be on the next one. It's a good song. And I'm not going to say the name of it simply because I don't want to divulge that information yet. But let's suffice to say, we had a lot of material to choose from before we ever went in. And then producers, of course, had something to say about what they thought would be best. And we also covered 2 different sets of producership there,
I
if
was
you
going to
will.
ask you about that. You got 2 different songs that covers. I guess other people have done the songs. That's interesting for you guys.
Well, actually, we've always done
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Not 2 on an album.
Yeah.
This is the first time we've ever done 2, but we've always done covers. We did one on Toulouse Street. We did one. I don't know if we did one on Captain Me. I don't think we did. At least if we did, I can't remember what it would be. We did one on Vices, I think. I know we did on Stampede. Ghost Take Me in Your Arms. There was 2 on Taking It to the Streets, or 1. I guess it was just 1. So that really isn't a deviation from the character of the band. We have always done that. So we did a Four Tops tune, and we ended up doing an Isley Brothers tune the last week of recording, just like zip, 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 and it was gone. It was out and done.
Need a little taste.
Mm-hmm.
Little Taste of Love.
Little Taste of Love, yeah.
And it's real interesting on that song because the Isleys, earlier on in our career, did listen to the music.
Yeah,
And now
did
we're
a
turning
good
around.
job with it, too. I was very happy when they did that.
It wasn't bad. Now we're turning around and doing one of theirs. So.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, mister, walking with the blues. Can you hear me? Hey, sister.
We're on the World of Rock, and our special guests and the newly formed back with us again, new album cycles. Doobie Brothers, Tom Johnston and John Hartman are with us. And, well, the history is certainly there. The foundation is there. And you guys are there ready to roll again. And I'm happy about that. And I'm talking for people listening everywhere. So
Thank you.
let's review a little history, because that tour will contain a lot of the new goodies and stuff we were just doing, Isley Brothers thing and all that, and 18,000 names in the writer's credits.
Yeah, right.
All the Isleys.
Right.
That is true. You guys shared a thing, and they did do a nice job too, as you said. So let's go back in history. Pick out something that you'll probably be doing on the. You know, I know what you mentioned before, Tom. You were saying that in a certain place you may want to do something that you didn't do the night before, and so one of the older songs, and then maybe do it that night, but not necessarily every night. Or are you going to put a package together pretty?
I don't know. Did I say that? Most likely what we'll do, and I have always done in the past at any rate, is we put the show together and take it out and see how it works. If there needs to be a reshuffling of tunes as far as their slots and how the show goes up, down, and around, and how it works with the audience. That's, you figure it out as best you can before you go out, and it's trial and error, and then you might do a little changing as you're out there. Long sound checks, if you will, and stuff like that. If some tune, for some reason, doesn't seem to be getting the desired result, then you either change it to another slot in the program, or you insert another song, possibly work up another tune.
John, does that sound all right to you?
Well, that sounds fine to me. Whatever you want. We usually
That's
do
what's
that.
happened in the past.
Yeah, we in addition to that, we have songs that we do multiple things on. We have a rock song that also takes in a section of it that kind of drops down, and so we have to plug those songs in and out, and that gets complicated. It's a complicated process. It takes us a long time to do that, and we'll extend songs that are normally like a single, and we may combine two songs together in a musical way, so that it's a more interesting kind of feeling. We've done that before. We did a section in the past where we had 4 songs put together and interlinked between one song to another song to another song to another song. And, for instance, there's a song we did a few years back that has that combination, Jesus Is Just All Right, where it goes hot and then it lowers down to a middle section and then it rocks out. And that's a pretty good song. And the interesting thing about that song is that it took us a heck of a long time to record it, and it really wasn't recorded the way we originally did it in the basement.
Probably not.
No.
Most things weren't.
And that middle section was an add-on in the studio. So
The slow Bart.
the slow part, yeah.
The Bart and slow Bart.
The
Breakdown, if you will.
The breakdown, the expression in the center of it. And it's, Jesus
Correct.
is just all right with me.
Just just alright. Oh yeah, Jesus is just alright with me. Jesus is just alright. I don't care what they may say. I don't care what they may do. I don't care what they may say. Jesus is just alright. Oh yeah.
With the new excitement here on the World of Rock and the good news that the Doobie Brothers are back together again, have a new album, and will be touring. The new album is called Cycles. We will, if you don't mind, guys, go way back. And we almost made reference of it earlier with you, Tom. You were mentioning when you were 16 years old, you were hanging around the Capitol Tower trying to get a song published and all. And so, John, you and Tom think now, when you were tykes, boy, I cleaned that one up. When you were little guys, what got you into this thing? I mean, why didn't you become attorneys or doctors or something?
What, being a musician, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, where did this all start? How did the Doobies get together?
Nasty
Well,
magazines.
that's a few years after the initial starting as a musician, for sure.
Okay, the initial thing. What was it that hit you?
I started at 12 playing guitar. I've been playing music since I was 8, but I started at 12 playing the guitar, which is an instrument I could rebel with, and that's why I loved it so much. At that time, it wasn't the common instrument, at least the electric guitar, wasn't the common instrument that it's become, if you know what I mean. I don't age myself too much here. How can I do this gracefully? Anyway, I continued playing that guitar until I could get a better one, and I had several bands throughout high school and college, a lot of blues bands. Anyway, to update that, I was playing with Skip Spence in San Jose when John showed up on the scene. I just covered a lot of territory real quick there, and I was up there going to college, and John showed up. He had gotten a hold of Skip, how I still don't know.
It's a mystery.
And he was with Greg Murphy, and they'd come in from Washington, D.C., and I was in San Jose, which is where Skip was. And we were all big Moby Grape fans, and still are, if they were doing anything. But we were all fans of their two, 3 albums, whatever it was.
And not long, was it?
No, it was a short-lived but really great band. We were all impressed. Everybody in this band, I can safely say, enjoyed Moby Grape. Every time we get together, we always play a couple of their tunes, just right off the bat. And it's always rough and what have you, but it's something to get our voices out of the cylinders and like that. But we started a band called Pud. That was just a power trio, John and I and Greg Murphy. And then that
John's under the table.
yeah,
Have to
he's
get him out.
loving this.
Have to get him
And
out.
then that turned into I call it a gospel rock band, not because we played gospel music in the religious sense, but it had that kind of beat. A lot of the rhythms were very similar to church music you might hear at, say, Old Glad Memorial or the Love Center in Oakland, something of that nature. We had a big horn section. And,
3 people.
well, that was big for me in the time. And then we came back down to a power trio again, and then Greg left, and Dave Sjogren arrived, and not too long after, Pat Simmons arrived due to a concert, or I won't call it a concert, we played at a club in Campbell, and that's the basis of the start of the band. And then shortly after was named the Doobie Brothers. And we did our first album for Warner's after being signed to a
Production deal.
thank you, production deal. That's what I was trying to think of. And we put out the first album, which went sparkling Teflon, and highly successful album. Billed as a biker band and all that sort of thing, which we really weren't. We did play for them, and they did come over to the house once in a while, but we really weren't essentially a biker band. We were just a rock and roll band. And
Essentially.
after that, the departure of Dave Sjogren, in comes Tyron Porter. And after that comes Michael Hossack, and you have the makeup for the Toulouse Street Gang, which is what this band is now.
Yeah. Then we hit the road, went on the highway. Does this sound like a plug for the next song? How about rocking down the highway? We rocked right down the highway.
Right. What something else that we did in honor of your early idols we did slip in a little Moby Grape music
Oh,
for
did
our
you really?
new listeners.
Cool.
Yes.
That's far out.
So
I'm
that
far
they
for
could
that.
identify with Moby Grape because, as you said, they didn't have a lot of product out, but they certainly made an impact.
Yeah, and for the newer listeners,
Yeah,
they
I was
probably
just
don't even
say,
know who the
wonder
heck
what
that
Moby
was.
Grape was. Well, they heard Moby Grape
Oh,
right
good.
here in the world of rock.
Listen, my friends. Listen, my friends. Listen, my friends. Listen, my friends. You thought never was. I'm not forever. Won't leave you ever. Now, my friends, what's gone left behind? No more rain from where we get under the covers, yes. All the love and beneath and above, being in love. Listen, my friend. Listen, my friend. Listen, my friend.
You know, Tom, we've
I
been
do.
together oh so long.
I know.
And it's like, I don't
Greeting
know.
cards.
Yeah, it's really rough. But you know, it's like kind of being in a chain thing. You know, it's like one chain. You know, I'm seeing. You know where we're going with this.
Yeah, I do.
You know, it's a song that I remember, and I know you do. Does this sound like Paul Schaefer? So let's talk about that. What about that song?
About that song, the Four Tops put it out back in 71 or 72, and to be quite frank with you, I don't remember hearing it that much. I don't think it got a great deal of airplay, but Pat brought that in and played it for the band, and we all liked it, and we decided to do a cover on it. And we did, and we put it on the album.
Just because in a moment of night chain, two wrongs, one chain, one rain, one chain. Can you hear me? One punch don't make no fight. One chain don't make no prison. Two wrongs don't make no right. One rain don't make no river. One punch don't make no fight. One chain don't make no prison. Two wrongs don't make no right. One rain don't make no river. One punch don't make no fight. One chain don't make no prison. Two wrongs don't make no right. One rain don't make no river. One punch don't make no fight. One chain don't make no prison. Two wrongs don't make no right. One rain don't make no river. One punch don't make no fight. One chain don't make no prison. Two wrongs sure don't make no right. One rain don't make no river. One punch don't make no fight.
Another tune, which was gonna be the first single, and at least Capitol wanted to make it the first single, and we didn't do that simply for the recognition factor we thought the Doctor might bring about. After that establishes this is the band. Whatever. Anyhow, then they can put that out, and people will know who the heck it is because they'll already have, something in front to announce the arrival of the band, if you will. And I don't know when it's going to go out, but there's a song called "South of the Border," which I like a lot. And it's not just because I wrote it; somebody else could have written it and sung it. I don't care. I just like the song. It's one of my favorite ones on the album. I like the picture the words paint. I like the feel of the song. I like the lead section because of the harmony guitars leading into it, and then the solo, makes me harken back to the days of "Let It Bleed." And Mick Taylor did this very nice solo on a song. Can't you hear it? Can't you? What was it called? Can You Hear Me Knocking? Thank you very much. And although that's not exactly what is played, that's what it reminds me of. I was having some real good times in my life at that particular period of time with a lot of crazy people in the Santa Cruz Mountains known as the Fakawi tribe. And although this song doesn't have any relation to that, that's what it reminds me of. So, "South of the Border" is the song that I'm talking about, and I'm sure somebody's going to be hearing it sooner or later here.
There's a town south of the border, south of the pass of the sea, where the nights are long and the winds are warm and the women they love to play. In an old Adobe tavern,
listen to the music. And Tom Johnston and John Hartman are special guests here on the World of Rock with the good news of Cycles, the album, which will be out in May. The tour starts in June in Colorado.
Correctamundo.
Stay in the Midwest a little bit. I think Denver and Iowa and Minnesota, Missouri, Wisconsin, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Indiana, Michigan.
The boys got some information.
I have some dates. They are in June. So it starts there and goes on. Those are some temporary dates, and I know you guys haven't had a chance to look at this yet, but...
Not like you've got a very concise report there.
Yeah, that's the month of June, as a matter of fact. Those are places where Doobie Brothers will reemerge in full force with some new cycles, and the Doctor will be aboard, and the guys in the band, and all the memories, too. We're really looking forward to that.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it, too.
It'll be fun.
Now, when you come back in our area here, we'll get together and we'll talk about what's been happening so far, the reception. By that time, the album is massive, and all the things that you want to happen, we want to happen. Sounds like a good word, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Massive.
it's a nice thing.
And I'll have one up on my wall, and you guys will have them at home and all over the place and everything, and Capitol will be happy, and the Doobies will be happy, but more importantly, the people in the world of rock listening to us will be. And now they know what's coming. The Doobie Brothers are coming. Thanks, guys, a lot for coming by and
Thank you,
sharing some really good news.
Thanks.
Well,
for all
thank
the
you.
folks.
Thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
I appreciate it.